Right then, guys, this one is going to be hopefully exactly 5 minutes long because there's not really that much to say, right? What I want to do with this one is just highlight for you people who clearly don't understand, clearly have zero clue in terms of what I say and why I say no change, is that there's no change for me, right? Since I looked at obviously the drop down that we've had no confirmation to a move up, right? And it's that for me is no change. There was two things, two scenarios, two likely scenarios that I painted out 18 months ago. One of them obviously isn't the accumulation, and hence no change. Okay. I know you might think, well, the price has gone up, and because the price has gone up, oh no, it's accumulation. It doesn't work like that. We're talking about a massive scale, right? So what I said back in September of 2022 was this is the one scenario I'm fearful for, right? This particular scenario, and the reason I'm fearful for it, is that the scale is much, much bigger. If we were seeing this over here as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this puts us at a 2, right, coming down. Because this becomes a larger one move of the internal moves you see here, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 would equal large scale 1, right? The large scale 1 then comes down for a 2, and the 2 is often deep, okay? So if the 2 is deep, what have we seen? Well, this is quite deep. This isn't an ABC and off to the moon we go, right? The main issue that I had is if we were to accumulate across a longer period of time, we could have had sustainable momentum to keep us going up. That was the first preferred option, right? And the reason there was a preferred option is I'm a long time Bitcoin holder. As long as it doesn't go under $1,000, I'm a happy chappy, right? In the grand scheme of things, in terms of where we are right now, I couldn't care less. So ultimately, what I was looking for is accumulation down low to sustain the move up. We haven't seen that. Instead, we've seen the one move that I've said I didn't want to see. And this is this one. We've had the move down, right? And we've had a corrective move back up. Look at the target level that I painted, right? This isn't, oh, I think this is up and I think this is, I'm saying here's the logic, here's the rationale behind the move, right? Now, if you come across to this particular stream, the one I'd done, it was just after Christmas, right? This is the full summary, step by step, with all the logic, and it's broken down into a much longer stream. I'm not going to go into all of that today, right? This was basically just to highlight why, for me, nothing's changed. And nothing still has changed. So I don't know how long I've got left in terms of having to do. And the reason I've got to do 5 minutes, ultimately, TradingView doesn't keep your stream if you don't do it for 5 minutes. So I just got to find something else to say for the next 2 minutes. So in the grand scheme of things, guys, look, I'm not negative. I'm not anti-Bitcoin. I'm not anti this. I'm just giving you all of the logic. I've walked through every single step as to why we went up, why we would reaccumulate, why we would drop, why we would rise again, why this rise wouldn't be, perfect, why we had this redistribution. I've also painted in this stream, this last one here, right? If you watch towards the end, right? And this was a long one. This was an hour's worth of a stream. I've painted every single step in terms of where the liquidity is. Right? We've got this move up here, and this is all sell side liquidity, right? This is pressure that if we end up tagging this level, it's more likely to drop back down to these ranges. Right? It doesn't mean that we're going to break through and, we're off to the moon. This is why this doesn't feel impulsive. Right? For me, the momentum, clear as day. Price goes up, momentum goes down. That doesn't scream impulsive. I've talked about this, like I said, in the last stream, in this one. Right? I've talked about this in depth as to what do we have here? Green, a little bit of red, green, a little bit of red, green. After the change from the first all-time high, we've been kind of negative sentiment. And that's not to say it's a bad thing. It's to say it's a long thing, right? It doesn't mean that you're going to see 100K, 250K, $1 million in Bitcoin until we are ready. If the institutional players are coming, that's not a 3-month transition. That's not a 6-month transition. That's a 5-year transition, right? Which is actually a good thing overall for Bitcoin, right? So don't take this for negative sentiment. I'm just not interested. Like I said, my buy price is right down here, right? I'm not interested in these little swings, these little moves, right? These little things. I make more money off Euro trades and Aussie trades than any of this Bitcoin move could make, right? The risk reward as a professional trader isn't there, right? Now, obviously, if you're investing for the long run, that's completely different. I've got my investment for the long run. In the grand scheme of things, if you want to understand what you're doing inside out, smaller trades, smaller swings, right? This is why, for me, this isn't impulsive yet. It's written all over this, right? I've talked about things like the stochastic, and obviously I think I've just covered probably 5 minutes, right? So I'm just going to touch on this to finish with. I've touched on a stochastic, right? In terms of a bigger play, bigger move, where we are on the monthly, right? And this is the one thing for me that just highlights we're just not ready yet, right? Not ready yet. Obviously, there's the play, there's the move, and obviously we haven't accumulated enough to go to 100k plus. It's as simple as that, right? So enjoy the rest of the weekend. Thanks for watching this, guys, and I'll see you on the next stream.